Chad Rainey. I'm here with my good friend Michael, and he has a little story for us all. Hold on 1 second.
You want to know about Michael's Philippine Odyssey?
Yeah, exactly.
It started a long time ago. Way back in the 60s. I can't remember the dates anymore. It's been a long time. I was in the 97th General Hospital in Frankfurt, Germany. I'd broken my elbow, and they did surgery on it. And they had me in a room, and I had a nurse. And this nurse came in. She was a Filipino. The most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. I was flat in love with that girl. And I was in that hospital for about 3 months with her as my nurse. And just a beautiful girl. I was in love with her. I never touched her. I never kissed her. I never held her hand. I never told her anything other than just friendly talk. But I was in love with her. Boy, I'm telling you, big time. Well, I got out of the hospital and went on with life. Down the road, many years later, I got married. And after several failed marriages, I had always thought about this Filipino girl. For all these years, every once in a while I think about her. Oh, she's really neat, right? After so many failed marriages, I still thought about her on occasion. So one day, I'm working in a car dealership. I'm a salesman. And this fella came out. I was at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Great Falls, Montana. This fella came in. He was military. He was a staff sergeant. He just returned from the Philippines, and he bought a car from me. And he said, "Hey, Mike, are you single?" I said, "Yeah, I sure am." He said, "How would you like a home-cooked meal?" I said, "Oh, God. I'm so sick of McDonald's and Jollibee, or, Burger King, because that's all I ate, right?" So he says, "Well, come on out to the base, and I'll get you signed down to the base, and you come to my home." He lived on base. And he took me to his house, and he opened the door, and here's his, God darn, he's married to a beautiful Filipino lady, and they got 4 kids. I said, "Oh, I don't like kids. Damn, I'm going to have to put up with a bunch of screaming kids, right?" Well, these kids are really different. They're aged from about 3 to about 8, 9, somewhere in that neighborhood. Polite, quiet, well-behaved. I was shocked. It's hard to believe kids act this way, right? And the lady, her name was Becky, and she said, "You're single?" I said, "Oh, I want you to meet my girlfriend." I said, "You got a girlfriend?" "Oh, yeah." And she whips open this album, and she starts showing me these girls in this album. These are her friends in Angeles City, Philippines. Well, this one I looked at with, "Oh, God, she's nice." I said, that's a pretty girl. I really like that girl." He said, "Would you like to communicate with her?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'm not much at doing stuff like that. That's okay. That's okay. What's her name?" "It's Florence." "Oh, okay." So I went home that night, and about 2 weeks later, I get a letter from Florence. "Hi, I'm Florence. I'm Becky's friend, and blah, 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 blah." She introduced herself, and we established communication at that point. Now,
What year was this?
Huh?
What year was this?
Huh?
What year was this?
I don't remember. There was no internet at the time. I can tell you that. They didn't have internet. And so I started communicating with her, and the next thing you know, she's calling me on the phone. And she don't call connect either. She just calls. And I start talking to her. I like her. And she says, "Why don't you come and visit me?" And I said, "I don't know about that." But I hadn't had a vacation in years and years and years. And so I went to my boss and I said, "Boss, I need 3 weeks off on vacation. He said, I can't let you go for 3 weeks. He says, you're the best salesman we've got, and blah, 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 blah. And you just can't go. How about 2? Oh my God. All right, I'll give you 2. He gave me 2 weeks off, right? So I went down and I bought a ticket. Now I'm going to go to the Philippines and meet this girl, right? Well, I got on a plane in Los Angeles. Well, in Great Falls, actually. Ended up in Los Angeles and then going across. And we get about 40,000 feet over Hawaii, and I sat up in my chair and I said, what the hell are you doing? Are you some kind of a lunatic? Only a nut would do this. Nobody in their right mind's gonna get on a damn airplane, fly 7,000 miles to meet some gal. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. That's crazy. When I get there, when I get back on the plane and come home, I ain't sticking around over there. That's it. That's crazy. Well, I got off the plane in Manila, and I'm going to go to the hotel, right? I'm going to bypass this girl. And when you go out the doors at the airport at that time, there was a fence, probably 50 meters long, and all the people that were waiting for people to get off the plane were holding signs to pick up the people from the plane, right? I didn't see any with my name on it. I said, lucky me. Damn, this little gal walks up to me and she says, are you Mike? Oh dear. Yep, I'm Mike. I got hooked right then and there. So, on and on we went, and her brother had a jeepney, and he picked us up and he took us to Angeles City, where she worked as a maid for a master sergeant in the Air Force. So she had a maid's quarters, and she was very highly regarded. I mean, they thought she was wonderful, which she was. And so we went out. And about a week later, I proposed to her. And she says, yes. So, what do we do now? What the hell do I do? I don't know nothing about this stuff. Getting married in a foreign country. I've been married many times in the U.S., but in a foreign country is different. So anyway, she said, I know this guy. He's a judge here in Angeles City, Virgilio Langsang, and he is a judge for the Air Force base, something to do with the Air Force, and a municipal judge for Angeles City. So I went to see him, and he said, oh, no problem, and he gave us all the requirements and set us up, and we got married. Well, after we got married, I had about a week left, right? Actually, I'd extended, whether they liked it or not. And God, that's a long time ago. Anyway, after we got married, I decided, yeah, there's got to be some kind of, she's just going to get on a plane with me? And no, the judge says you can't do that. Says, I can do your immigration for you, and it costs you $500. How long will it take? 3 or 4 months. I didn't like that idea, but I gave him the money. So then, the day that I was supposed to come home from the Philippines on my extension, her and her brother drive me to the airport in Manila, and I got out to get on the plane, and I took all the money out of my wallet, and it was only a couple $100, and I said, here, you're going to need this. And I kept a handful of quarters in case I had to make some phone calls. I had about 8 quarters, right, in my pocket, in case I have to make a phone call. Well, she waved me off, and I walked in the airport, and I get inside, and they said, oh, you can't board that plane. I said, why? because you didn't. In those days, you had to give 3 days to reconfirm your ticket. I didn't reconfirm my ticket.
Oh man.
Oh come on! I can't stay here. I haven't got any money. And the gal I just gave all my money to, she doesn't have a phone. They didn't have a cell phone in those days. Had the bricks if you saw one. And so here I am in the airport with just a few quarters, a couple dollars, and can't get on a plane. I said, oh, the next flight is at 10 o'clock. It was like 4 hours later, and it's Northwest too. So I can get you on that one. So she gets me on that one, and I get in line at that time to get on the plane, and we're boarding, and they said, oh, you haven't paid your departure fee, your terminal fee. I said, terminal fee? What the hell is that? I said, you didn't pay it. And it's $10 or so. I don't remember what it was exactly, about $10 or $12. I said, I have no money. You take credit cards? No, of course not. Shit, what do I do now? Well, I'm raising a big fuss there, and this lady came up, she's a supervisor. She said, come with me, sir. I said, oh shit, I'm going to jail now. She takes me into her office, and she says, do you have a credit card? I say, yeah, I do. She says, you see that duty-free shop over there? Yeah. She said, if you'll go in there and buy me a bottle of Johnny Walker, bring it over here and put it in this desk drawer, I'll pay your terminal fee for you. So I scrambled over there and I paid it. And boom, boom, boom. Put the whiskey in her desk drawer. She paid my terminal fee, gave me the receipt, and I got on the plane and I came home. So that's how I got here in the first place.
All right. So, talk about your first. Is this your wife now? Same wife?
No, she's.
Okay.
She was my second or third wife. I don't remember which one.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes we all have choices in our lives, and sometimes we make good choices, sometimes we make bad choices. Sometimes we think we're right in the right moment. We think that's the one. Yeah, no, I understand. I've been there.
She was a wonderful wife, but she was very provincial. Very provincial. And she had a little boy. And when they came to the States, after I finally got him, she couldn't handle my high-pressure lifestyle, and it bothered her. And so we got divorced. She married somebody else, and
so you got an annulment.
No, we got divorced in the States.
Okay.
And she's still my best friend, and her husband is my best friend also. He's a good friend.
That's good.
And the little boy, I put him through school, and he's now a master sergeant in the U.S. Air Force in the legal department. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, he's been in for quite a few years, but he's very successful at what he's doing.
That's awesome.
So I did something good.
Yeah. Well, we all have choices. Sometimes and you made a positive impact in her life with her son.
Yeah.
So you made good choices with that. Sometimes relationships, it's just hard to do long distance. And sometimes you meet somebody, you think they're the perfect person, and you start doing it, you get a little farther away from them, and you start realizing all the flaws. We all have flaws, but sometimes.
She was a perfect person, but we just.
But so was that nurse. That nurse that you met years ago. I mean, I've been there too.
I can't even remember that nurse's name anymore, but I sure remember what she looked like. God, she was a gorgeous girl.
Well, I went with a nurse. I was in the hospital last year, and I went to a nurse, and I met a nurse there in the hospital. She was so beautiful. I was really bad sick. And I was like, oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. But when she got better, we went out a couple times, a couple days. It wasn't the right fit for her. With me and her, not the right fit. But she's beautiful. We're still good friends. And try to touch her, how's she doing, and stuff like that. So that's just something that happens. It's really hard to meet people long distance. It's really hard. I mean, I've done that when I was in Texas, and I met a girl back in our hometown, and I met another girl that was in another
That
state.
thing's off, right?
Yeah, it's on.
Huh?
It's on. I'll turn it off.
Oh.
Yeah, but turn it off. Yeah, well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time just to tell your story. I mean, I would like to talk to you next time. Maybe talk about your 60
Well,
minutes. Your 60 minutes situation.
You know,
You have so many stories inside your mind. You know?
yeah,
And I'm a storyteller. I like to tell people stories, and so
that was real unusual, but I never ever forgot that gal. You know, all these years. It was shit. And,
I
and
think-
after multiple marriages, I mean, I was married a lot of times, you know. One time I got one marriage I had, I was married for 15 days.
Well, I was always married for less than a year. All my lives.
Oh, yeah.
Cool parrot.
And one of them lasted 15 years. That was the first one. And well, anyway, long story.
Yeah, I understand. We all have detours in our lives. Sometimes we make different choices, and it turns a different path.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you get old, I get forgetful. I can't even tell you what. Yeah, I know I went to Germany in 1960. So it would have been
Many years ago.
it would have been early 1961 when I ended up in the hospital. Do you know how I ended up in the hospital?
Wow.
That's another story.
Exactly. That happened. That's life. It's called life.
I get to, I'm in the army, right? A new recruit. And we get to Germany. We come on the Admiral Patch. That was a ship. They dumped us off in Bremerhaven, and we took a train to Hanau, Germany, to Fliegerhorst concern. And we get there, and I got two other guys from Montana with me that enlisted at the same time. And the guy says, second day we're there, third day, says, let's go over to the gym. They got a gym here, and with a rec center. I said, okay. So we went. And in Montana, that when you go, they don't have a lot of stuff. So I never played pool. I never played ping pong, tennis, football, baseball, basketball, track, none of that stuff, right? So we get over there, and the guy says, oh, let's go to the rec center. So we go over there, and there's a ping pong table, and he picks up a pen and says, let's play ping pong. I said, I don't know how. Oh, I'll show you. So he gives me a paddle. He says, just hit the ball back and forth, just light it, not too hard. So he hits the ball at me, and I bounce it back to him. Did good on that one. And then he shot it back at me, and I missed it, and it goes running off across the floor, and I chased it. And they had a coil of rope laying on the floor, and I tripped over it and fell down and broke the end off my elbow.
That's why you were in the army.
And then people say, wouldn't you like to play baseball? Hell no. Are you kidding? If you can do, I had 3 operations on account of that.
For ping pong.
So me and sports don't get along very good.
Over ping pong.
Yeah. Pool, it's okay. Anything else? It's too physical for me, Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time. It's good talking to you, catching up. Maybe next time we can tell you about the 60 minutes, when you're 60 minutes.
Huh?
Next time you can tell me about when you're 60 minutes, 22 years ago.
Oh, you don't want to hear about 60 minutes.
Why not?
Yeah,
You have stories,
Let's put it this way. I'm in Montana with Florence. Yeah. And I get this call, and it's from Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes. And she said, we understand that you're in the mail order bride business. I said, no, we're not. Well, you take tours to the Philippines? Yes. She said, well, we'd like to interview you in New York, and I'm going to send you some tickets by FedEx to come. You'll be there. We'll pick you up at the airport with a limousine, and be an hour, and a couple of days later, we'll send you home. I said, okay, I'll do that. Not realizing what I was getting into. And I said, who else is going to be on there? Oh, the guy from, what was the name of that outfit? The one in Hawaii. That pen pal club in Hawaii, the big one. Oh shit, everybody uses it all the time. I can't think of it, but anyway, he's going to be there too. Okay. So, she sent the tickets. And the more I thought about it, the less I liked the idea. And I said, I ain't going to do it. I sent the tickets back and didn't go. And
they're trying to have their narrative.
The other guy, Cherry Blossoms? Is that it? Cherry Blossoms?
Yeah.
That's the one. And they interviewed him. At the same time they would have interviewed me. I think they mentioned my name on there, but that's about it. But I didn't go. I wasn't gonna go.
They were trying to have their own narrative about you and your business. When you have a positive, you're very positive what you do, helping affect other people. But that's what people want to do. People in the U.S. they want to have their own narrative for you.
Yeah,
but what is their intention? Their intention is to take you down.
There could be danger involved.
Yeah.
You know, well,
here,
sure.
It's so much more peaceful here than in the U.S.
Hello.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed my video today. That's a great video. I think it's very funny. The stories that he has, he's always got a funny story. And he's a very good man that helps people through the process. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you could, like and subscribe and notify. That way you'll be notified first the next time we have any videos. We're going to have videos, I think we have 12 this month coming soon. So we're going to create content and adding videos all the time to help you know what's going on in Cebu City. Thank you. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. We appreciate y'all. Take care.